Spell Boxing. Today we are kindly joined by Cedric Benn, who, looking at his resume, there's nothing he doesn't do in boxing. So good afternoon or good evening, depending where you're on the world. Good evening, Cedric.
Good evening. Good evening. It's 12 o'clock here, so good afternoon for everyone
Good
that's on
afternoon.
this side.
So thank you for joining us, much appreciated. I know you're heavily involved in the boxing scene in Ontario. So really, just start from the beginning, Cedric. How was it that you got into boxing?
To be honest with you, I only got into boxing by accident. Growing up, I played all sports. All my friends were playing basketball, so I started veering off towards that. And then I had other family members that boxed before, but I never actually got into. So I kind of knew what I was doing, but I didn't. I never really got into it. And then when I went to college, I just started boxing to keep myself in shape for basketball. To be honest with you, and then it only really by accident. One day I was training at the gym, the gym's full of people. This was about maybe 2 years into my training. The coach yells from across the gym, like from the other side of the gym. He's like, "Hey, Cedric, are you ever gonna fight or what?" I was like, "Yeah, I'll fight. Yeah." In back in my head, I didn't really want to fight. I was just, it was a gym full of people, so I didn't want to say no in front of all these people.
Yeah.
So I just told myself, like, I'll just say yes. I'm gonna call him later on and just tell him, like, I didn't really mean that. And I was just saying that. Anyways, got home. Long story short, I couldn't convince myself to call him to tell him I wasn't gonna do it. So I was like, okay, let me just have one fight just to say I did it and get it over with. Had my first fight. I didn't realize how much conditioning is involved in this. I got beat up. So I told myself, there's no way I can't finish. Let me have just one win first, and then then I'll quit it. And anyways, long story short, ended up having 30 fights, 24-6. Reason why I stopped is because I started working full time, and I didn't have time to train full time. So that's when I slowly got into the coaching. At the time, my head coach, he had two national champions in the gym. Adam Trooper, who was an 8-time national champion, and I was ranked number 8 in the world as a professional. And Mary Spencer, who was the first Canadian to be 3-time first male or female to be 3-time world champion as an amateur. So I got to work with them. Most coaches, when they start out, they have to start out with a novice and work their way up. I kind of got lucky into. Yeah. So he would be away at a tournament somewhere, some international tournament around the world, and the head coach would call me from wherever he was at and be like, "All right, do this, make them run 5 miles, come back, spar, do this," and just basically give me the blueprint of how to train champions. So I kind of got lucky like that. And then, I've been at the gym since 2005. I took over as a head coach in 2012. And we've had a national champion in the gym every single year since 1993. I got to the gym in 2005, took over in 2012, and I've been able to maintain that success since then. Of course, the lockdown shut the whole world down, so that that put a halt to everything. But that's a brief summary of my boxing.
Has it been a tough time for the gyms during the coronavirus?
Yes, definitely. Of course, we try to improvise as best as we can.
Yeah.
Some of the boxers have a bag at home that they can work on, and then obviously it's not the same thing, but I connect all of them through Zoom.
Yeah.
And I just kind of coach them that way. Obviously, it's not the same thing, but it's just the best that we can do for now. So, Zoom training. There's a few hills that we can run at and still have social distancing and stuff like that. So, still got to make it happen. Because there's still competitors around the world that are competing. So we can't just sit back and wait for the world to open again. So
what do you get the biggest buzz from? Coaching, or was it a bigger buzz you actually being in the ring fighting?
To be honest with you, I think it's coaching, because I think it's coaching just because for some reason it seems like there's more. I don't know if it's emotions involved, but it's like, I'm not in the ring, so I can't, like, you can guide them to the water, but you can't you can't make them drink or perform. So it's like when they're in the ring and I'm thinking about all the things that we've worked on for the past couple of weeks and months, and it's actually coming together, or maybe there's some things that aren't really working. So when they come back to the corner, it's, I don't know. So I guess coaching. So at the end of the fight, when the referee raises my boxer's hand, that's probably the most satisfying thing. So I'd probably say coaching is probably more satisfying, to be honest with you.
And what's the most demanding part of coaching? Is it executing the game plan?
No, that's easy. To be honest with you, the hardest part of coaching is outside of boxing. It's the time away from my family. You know, I got a 5-year-old son. It's my only son. He wants to be with me all the time. Sometimes I got to go to the gym, and it's kind of hard leaving him. So that's actually probably the hardest part, when I have to go away for a week at a time to a tournament or something like that to leave him. But as far as the boxing part, I love the game planning. That's the funnest part for me, to be honest with you. I love the game plan, even with coaching, because I look at another coach. It's not a physical thing, but it's more of a mental thing. Like it's my brain versus your brain.
Yeah.
I'm telling my boxer do this and do that, and I know you're telling your boxer to do the same thing too. So, whose brain can work more, who can get their boxer to perform how they want them to perform. So that's the fun part for me. I don't really find anything hard about coaching, to be honest.
Who's your inspiration then, Cedric, in terms of a boxing trainer? Who do you look up to, or maybe take little tips from?
Definitely. Well, my number one mentor is my main amateur coach. I started out with Tom Hennessy at Blue Water Boxing Gym. Much love and respect to him. He's the one that started me off. And then I moved to Windsor and trained with Charlie Stewart, who's probably the most accomplished amateur coach in Canada. He had a boxer at the 2000, 2004, 2008, and different boxers, not just the same person. Unfortunately, he didn't have a medal, but still to get to that level, bringing three separate boxers to the highest level of the sport is a big accomplishment, and very thankful that he was able to guide me in that way. Oh, we got Mike on.
Hey, how's it going, Cedric?
Good, man. How are you today?
Not bad. Sorry, guys, woke up a little late.
Yeah, don't worry, Mike. I predicted it, didn't I, Cedric? What did I predict? So, Mike, where we are at the minute, we're just talking about how Cedric got into boxing, who inspired him in terms of a coach, and where we are. Have you got any questions for Cedric, being a fellow Canadian? I feel like a bit of an imposter here, to be honest.
Yeah, you're the imposter tonight.
Yeah. So, Mike, any questions for Cedric? Why we're having a walkthrough?
You just got voted in again as the what's the title that you hold?
He was that was 2000. I stepped down from that. I held that position for 2 terms. I was the vice president of competition for Boxing Ontario. I got elected in 2000, and it's a 2-year term, so I got selected in 2016, and I got reelected in 2018. And then I stepped down in 2020 just to, because it's really time consuming. So I'm still going to focus on helping people out, but just to focus a little bit more on my own.
What did that involve, really? Like,
vice president of competition, just as far as the gathering the best boxers in Ontario and just trying to organize tournaments or send them to different tournaments, whether it's within Canada or to the States, or if we can raise enough money for an international tournament. Just to come up with different ways to get the boxers more experience. Especially, I'm looking at the juniors, because the thing specifically in Canada, one of the main reasons why we don't do well when it comes to international competitions is because they don't really help out the youth. They usually just wait until they're senior and just send them off to an international tournament and tell them, good luck. But we have to start at the junior level, get these kids, not just tougher competition, but better sparring and stuff like that, so that they're more prepared when they get to the senior level. So my job as vice president of competition was just to, again, find different ways, whether it's organize a bunch of kids to go over to the States for some sparring,
or the UK. Or the UK.
Yes. The only reason why I didn't mention that is because just for the finances, a little bit more money to get to the UK. So
I'm having a joke. So Cedric, if you had a magic wand, then, because me and Mike often talk about the state of Canadian boxing at the minute, both amateur and pro. Obviously, in the UK, we're doing quite well at the minute, both amateur and pro, in terms of high-profile boxers, fighters, shows, with Matchroom and DAZN. What needs to happen in Canada? Because there's a fight card last night that me and Mike were talking about. It wasn't even televised, I understand, in Canada. So what's going wrong in your view, Cedric?
It's almost like they keep. We have provinces here, and it's almost like the boxing promoters just want to keep the money within their own province. Like in Canada, it's really Montreal. There's a few out west, like Calgary and Alberta. I think there's a professional boxing scene out there, but in Canada, Montreal, Quebec is probably the top scene, and basically they just keep the money within themselves. They don't really, have fights outside of the province. So I think, I mean, it's fine for them because they're making all the money for themselves, but for the rest of Canada, it's not really helping everyone else. That's why a lot of boxers, they look to go over, not to the States or to the UK, to sign with other promoters. So I don't know. I just, if I can gather the finances together to start my own promotional company, one of the things I'm going to do is to make sure to try to link up all the provinces together, not just to be by myself and try to keep it within. So I think to answer your question, the problem is just people don't want to spread out and help out the whole country as opposed to just keeping it all for themselves. Yeah.
It is unfortunate the way it works here in Canada. It's something needs to change. I don't know how we're going to go about it, but you know what? I guess it would be a promotion company that wouldn't care about boundaries, really.
Yeah,
would be the answer.
That's the word I was looking for. The boundaries. It's like they don't want to go outside of their boundaries for some reason. But again,
which is sad because we have really great Canadian talent.
Yes,
and I feel like it doesn't get showcased enough.
Not at all.
And not even that. Like we could be on international competition if we developed our fighters properly from start to finish.
Exactly.
And obviously,
Mike, from the outside, from Europe, looking into Canada, it just seems very strange to me that you got Eddie Hearn taking Matchroom into territories such as Spain, Italy, talking about going to Albania. So we've got very little, with all due respect, very little boxing history. Yet then you've got Canada, which has got, I mean, I've watched the Leonard Duran fight when it was in Quebec. You can fill stadiums, can't you? The potential's there. It just amazes me how countries in Europe are picking up good cards, good promotional TV rights, yet they seem to be a little bit behind. And maybe it is a provinces why that's happening.
It is though. So just like you said, like they'll have shows and like the stadium will be filled, but again, it's only people from Quebec, and it's nothing wrong with that. But like if you can somehow invite, I don't know, maybe within the ticket prices, I don't know if it could be included like a discount for the hotel or something like that, just to entice people from a little bit further distance to come and enjoy the experience too. Because so for some places it's hours away. Some people have to take a plane just to get to Montreal. So they need some type of incentive other than the fight, whether it's discount hotel or discount at some restaurants when they come to eat, just some kind of incentive. So those are one of the things that I'm gonna try to do eventually if I get the finances.
So Cedric, you want to start your own company, right? Your own fight promotions?
I definitely do.
And are you gonna start working like from the ground up, like with the youth first?
Yes. I mean, like I said, I'm already in the as far as ground up and the amateur level right now. I have a good foothold on the top amateurs in Canada. Well, the top amateurs in my area. And so I'm just trying to work my way up from there. I'm actually in the process right now of starting a nonprofit organization that's for the amateur level and for the kids in the neighborhood that can't afford to box. But not just that. One of the problems too with developing good boxers is, again, we need to. If there's not good sparring in this area, we have to travel for it, which means we need finances, whether it's renting a car to travel to somewhere, to go get sparring, or for matches. Once you get to a good level, like if you're good, it's hard to, there's no contracts in amateur boxing. So if you're good, there's not, it's hard to just for someone else to agree to fight you just for the experience. And so that's why I'm starting this nonprofit organization to help the kids in the community that can't afford to box, but also the ones that are already involved in the sport, to help them get the things that they need to help to compete at the highest level. Yeah.
Right.
So
any up and comers right now that we should be looking out for?
Yes. a brother and sister combo. Actually, I think they would have. I honestly believe they might be the first brother and sister to win a medal at the Olympics together. Kioma Ali and Marie Ali.
Okay.
They are. Kioma is going to be 17 next month. Marie, she's 15. Kioma is a two-time Canadian champion already. Marie's won her first one. Kioma, he's had 66 amateur bouts. That might not be a lot, but a lot of them are against tough competition. He's already last year he traveled to Europe to compete in not in one of the world championships, but it was still an international tournament where he beat the Germany's national champion, and there was another country in the final. He beat somebody else, one of their runner-ups from the world championships. So that's going to be a name to look for, Kioma Ali. Kioma Ali.
So what is
Definitely.
it, Cedric? Is it footwork? Is it the power? Is it the ring IQ? What makes him special in your view?
It is a combination of all, because he's actually been since he was literally born. His dad told his mom before he was born, if we have a son, he's going to be a boxer. So he's literally been in the gym since he was born. And the other thing is with kids, it's you always kind of hesitate to, whether it's your kid or another kid, to force them to do something, because you have to find that thin line between making it fun at the same time making them learn. Because if it's all like do this, eventually they're not going to like it and break off from it. But luckily, he's at a point now where he's into it. He sees the goal. He loves boxing, and he sees his future. The outside distractions, that's the other thing too. I always said he's going to be 17 next month. Between the ages of 16 to 22, I think is the critical years to keep them focused. 16 to 22,
I can't think why that is.
Because you start following a different head of thought.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not sure it's from the end, though, Mike.
Yeah, different head.
So that's the main problem between those ages. But specifically with him, he I could tell. I've had plenty of boxers that have had the potential to do something.
Yeah.
But those outside distractions just slowly drift them off. But he seems, again, I'm still early. He's only 17, but he seems like the one that actually will stay focused and excel at the next level.
What weight did you operate at?
Oh, he's little. Early 20s, like 125.
Right.
Yeah, 125. So he's probably gonna at the pro level be like 122 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just a little guy, but he packs some power.
Do you find? So I've heard there's been a lot of problems with like Olympic qualifying now due to the COVID situation. Has that affected any of the people that you're training right now with still qualifying? Because I heard that people that had qualified last year might not necessarily qualify this year. Now, have you run into any sort of situations like that?
No. He's actually 1 year under the age limit to qualify for Tokyo. So they're trying to sneak him into the back door somehow, but it couldn't go through. I know one boxer, Mandy Bujold. She's having a difficult time right now. She's really trying to. She was at the last Olympics and got a bad, like the night before she fought, she got food poisoning. She still fought, but obviously it affected her. So she's trying for this Olympics, but now they're giving her the runaround, saying that they qualified one of the tournaments that she was supposed to go to, and that was like the last one. So she's going through some legal issues right now to try to get through. So that's the not fun part of the sport.
Yeah, it said that's made the news in the UK as well. That article has. Yeah, it'd be interesting to follow that one. It's a bit of a blueprint in that case. You guys, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out.
Sorry, go ahead.
It'd be interesting to see how.
Is the UK sending anybody to the Olympics this year or no?
We're going to clean up, Cedric. We're going to sending anybody.
No, I was just asking because sorry, I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I know.
I was just asking because I'm not
joking,
sure. I'm not sure if Canada is sending anybody. That's why I was asking. That's what I was asking.
Yeah, we are, Cedric. We're sending the full roster to dominate the Olympics as we normally do, to be honest. So yeah, I know Mike agrees with me, Mike, don't you? Just nod.
Well, yeah, yeah, sure.
No,
Yeah.
All joking aside, we're very fortunate in the UK that the athletes are well funded, so they get time to train.
Oh, see, that's the other thing that you guys have. That funding, that is a major difference.
Yeah.
These athletes here, that's the other messed up thing. I gotta be careful what I say. I ain't trying to get myself in trouble. But like in Boxing Canada, they have the training center, which is okay. They want all their boxers to be there. But my only problem with that is that, I put in all this time and work to get my boxer to this level, and then I'm supposed to just give them to the national team. But like, they haven't really proven that they can get boxers to the next level. A boxer from Canada hasn't won a medal at the Olympics in quite a few years. So I'm not sure why it's mandatory. And if you don't send your boxer to this training center, then they won't send them to any international tournaments.
Right.
That's the problem. There's been a few boxers in the past years that won the nationals, but they didn't want to move to another province, and so Boxing Canada kind of blackballed them and didn't send them to tournaments, and and then it turns into another legal issue, and then so that's one of the main things. So you just remind me of that. That's one of the reasons why you guys are able to continue that is because of the funding. You guys take care of your athletes.
Yeah, of course, it frees them up, Cedric, to concentrate on training, doesn't it? Concentrate on the game plan and concentrate on winning medals. So
there's too much politics in Canada, man. That's what I believe.
Exactly.
The politics in Canada is hurting the fighter more than it's helping.
Exactly.
You take these up and comers, these young fighters who showcase such a great talent that with the right tutelage they can become great. But the problem is they get lost in transition. Like you're saying, they get sent off to this training center, and then they don't get developed the right way. Or hey, I don't want to move to that province. Why? Because that province sucks. Say you move from Ontario to move to Saskatchewan, there ain't nothing there. That's why fighters don't want to move. And then you're going to blackball them because they don't want to go that way. It's not. Exactly. It's very unfair, I find, in Canadian boxing, and that's the reason why the number one pound for pound guy out of Canada on the list is a 38-year-old man, John Pascal. Right? He's number 72 on the list of pound for pound fighters around the world. Number 72 is a Canadian who's at the end of his career. Right? Yes. Very highly decorated Canadian boxer. Yes. But 72nd on the list of all the people around the world. When we have such a huge talent pool in Canada of great amateur boxing, it's just upsetting that we're not able to develop them properly to get them onto that international stage and be competing for world titles.
Exactly. That's exactly. You said it right there. And that's what I'm trying to do, man. The next couple of years, hopefully I could make a change in that, turn that in the other direction.
It definitely. Well, I'll get behind you on that one for sure, Cedric. I believe that Canada definitely needs a change in boxing for sure, because this is absolutely ridiculous. We're a huge country, and there is no way that these small little countries around the world should be producing fighters on an international level, and we are not. Yes, shake that hand, brother. Shake that hand. Shake it. Small countries on an international level. We have such a vast. We have a vast amount of talent here. We have tons, and it's upsetting that we're not developing the fighters the right way. Things need to change. Cedric, I'm so happy that you're taking a stand and you're trying to make a change in Canada, man, and put us back on the map of international boxing.
Thanks. I need all your support.
No problem. So, Cedric, what we'll do, finish off with a couple of quick fire questions that we've been asked on the show. First one was, would you have pulled Billy Joe Saunders out of the fight against Canelo at the same point? So no worries.
Yes, it's a good question. Good question. One of the things that I emphasize is safety first. I tell all my boxers one of the things that I hate hearing all the time is when I hear boxers say, you know, I never want to quit. I'd rather die on my shield. That's one of the craziest things I ever hear in my life. Because I'm thinking to myself, yes, this is. I mean, don't forget, you don't play boxing. You know, obviously you don't play boxing like you play other sports. But at the same time, it still is a sport. You still want to wake up tomorrow and see your family and see live your life. There's no reason to die for a sport. This is sports. You know what I'm saying? So don't let I'm obviously you've heard this the saying before, don't let your pride get you killed.
Exactly.
Right? And so I tell my boxers, I said, because obviously as a coach for many years, plenty of boxers have said to me, yo, Cedric, if you ever stop the fight, I'm gonna be mad at you. I'll be very mad at you. So I tell them, okay, well, first of all, if you know you're gonna be mad if I stop the fight, then don't put me in a position to have to make that decision.
Exactly.
Like, I don't think I'm going to stand there and watch you getting beat up all over the ring and be like, well, yeah, he said he wanted to not throw in the towel, so I'm just going to sit there and watch him die. Like, no, I mean, you're not going to put that on me. And it's actually kind of selfish because if you think about it, I don't like this. Pardon me?
If anything happens to that boxer, it's on your conscience as well, isn't it?
Exactly. How's that supposed to be on me? Like, and I think it was last year, Patrick Day. There's a few boxers that passed away in the past couple of years, but I'm like, and I was listening to a podcast with the coach, and he just think of how the boxer that passed away, he lived right across the street from the gym, right? So it was cool. They'd come out, you see his mom say hi to him every day and stuff like that. And then, so how awkward do you think it is for him now when he comes out the house and he sees the mom, and and the mom's looking at him like, you were supposed to take care of my son, and now my son's not here. Like, you got to think about these things and how, and then I go to your funeral to show respect, and your whole family's looking at me funny because I'm the person that was supposed to be taking care of you. And then what? I'm supposed to just say, well, he said he wanted to not throw in the towel, so I just let him die. Like, I can't. You're not gonna put that on me. You're not gonna put that on me. So I am all about safety first. So to answer your question, yes, I would. If he told me he couldn't see, like, you're not gonna fight someone, the best fighter in the world, with one eye.
No.
You're telling me you can't see, I'm stopping the fight. I don't care how mad you think you want to go on. This is safety first. And broken orbital bone.
It takes a really good trainer and a good coach to be able to tell when to stop the fight, because honestly, you have to save. A good coach will save a boxer from himself, because
exactly
a boxer's worst opponent is his own self.
Yeah.
Because you know what? It's pride, man. Pride will get you killed, just like you said. And it takes a good coach to be able to recognize that.
Another brief example, Wilder and Wilder and his excuses. He blamed his coach. He fired his coach because he told his coach never to throw in the towel. Like, guy, what are you saying? Like, you would have died. Like, what do you think would have happened? Like, I kind of lost a bit of respect for Wilder for saying that. He fired his coach, and the other coach, I forget his name. The other coach is at the press conference talking about, well, hey, Wilder gave us his specific instructions not to throw in the towel, so he wasn't supposed to throw in the towel. I'm like, see, those are the type of coaches that will get you seriously injured. Those are the type of coaches that will get you seriously injured, man. That's like, you gotta be careful for people like that.
You always got to be ready to live to fight another day.
Yes,
right. Money
just to live, not even to fight another day, just to live.
To live.
That brings on to the second question, Cedric. You ready for this one? So, who wins out of AJ and Tyson Fury, and how?
My prediction for that one. Both good boxers. Everyone. I don't know. With Tyson Fury, is kind of tricky because I don't exactly think he's that great of a. Don't get me wrong. He's a good boxer, but I think it's more of his tall and long and awkwardness that gives people a problem, not necessarily the boxing skills. Remember, this is the same guy that uppercut himself in the face during a fight a couple years ago, right? So don't get mad at me. I'm just saying. He is a good boxer, but I think it's more of the tall and long awkwardness that gives him that advantage. So with that being said, it's tough, man. I don't know.
Come on, Cedric. Come on.
It depends which Anthony Joshua is going to show up. The one versus Andy Ruiz one or the second one. Which Joshua?
See,
Which
now you're bringing in some different. Now these are difficult times now, right? True. Which Joshua are we going to see?
I guess I don't know. I don't know, man.
I went Fury. I went Fury only because he's hard to figure out, man, and he's tall. And you know what? That's what it is. It's a game of timing. You know, it's chess, not checkers. It's methodically planning out. And you know what? With his awkward-esque style and his, you know, the way he boxes and the way he moves, he's hard to figure out.
Let me throw him out. Let me throw him out here. Go on, Cedric. Go on. You go.
I was just thinking, with Tyson Fury, does he sometimes fight to his like the level of competition? What was the guy that he fought before Wilder?
Otis Wallen.
Otis Wallen. He won the fight, but he got touched up a little bit in that fight too when he was in the corner against the ropes and stuff like that. Didn't he get a bad cut in that fight too? Was that the cut? Was that the fight he got a bad cut?
I believe so. I believe it was.
So again, you know, I guess just by it's been a while since that Wilder fight, but I guess I'm gonna go with Tyson Fury, just a little slight edge, not clear, but I'll go with Fury just with the slight edge.
I'll tell you if the first Anthony Joshua shows up though, we might have a different outcome. That's what I'm thinking.
Do you want me to give you my view for what it's worth?
Yeah, let's hear your view.
Cedric, you're a lot more qualified than me, but here we go. I'm working off the fact that I don't think Joshua's a great boxer. I don't. Once Mike Tyson says everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face. I think he'll get punched in the face. He'll revert to type. Does he punch harder than Deontay Wilder? Probably not. I think Tyson Fury is going to walk straight through him like he did Wilder and just stop him.
That confidence, you know, that confidence to walk through Wilder, and everyone knows how powerful Wilder is, and Fury just walked him down. So the confidence that he did that might give him that slight, and obviously, well, not obviously, but you know, Joshua was still 250 pounds. Obviously, he still punches hard.
Yeah.
But as far as that knockout power, if he had the confidence to walk down Wilder like that, I'm assuming he'll still have that same confidence to walk down Joshua like that. But again, Joshua showed in that second Ruiz fight that he can box and move around and use his jab and kind of move around a little bit like that. So that's where I'm kind of.
He doesn't outbox Fury though, Cedric, does that? He doesn't
what? Sorry.
He doesn't outbox Fury though, does that? Never.
Nice. No. Well, he did win a gold medal at the Olympics, so you gotta give. He does have some skills there. There are some skills that he can use.
I think you're being harsh on Tyson Fury. You can clearly tell that I'm a bit of a fan of Fury, obviously, but that awkward style, and it's very difficult to land a clean shot on Tyson Fury, isn't it?
It is.
You know,
you can see that in the Wilder versus Fury 1 versus 2. You could see a lot of it. Like Fury didn't know how to take didn't know how to take Wilder in the first one. You could see that, right?
Yeah.
Like Fury got dropped early, and then once Fury figured out Wilder's timing, he wasn't able to land those shots again. And then when we had Fury Wilder 2, Fury looked like a completely different fighter from the first one, and it's only because now I feel that he found out Wilder's game, and all of a sudden, now that he knew Wilder's game, he knew how to dance around him and use his ability and his training to better his game, which it showed, and he did. He walked right through him. He ruptured his eardrum in the second, I believe, the second round, and right from there, Wilder had no equilibrium left, and he just looked like a crap fighter.
Yeah, he's walking around like a zombie.
Yeah, just another time where maybe the coach should have saved him from himself. Ruptured eardrum, equilibrium off. You went down hard, man, and he paid for it.
And that's Rob McCracken in his corner, also head coach of the GB Olympic squad. So you should have really seen that,
Yeah, definitely.
Next question, Cedric. I'm conscious of time. Now, Mark, you can give your input on this one. Who is the greatest Canadian boxer of all time?
Greatest Canadian boxer of all time. Well, I'm kind of biased, man. I'm gonna be biased. I'm naming the people that I know personally. Technically, I'd go. I guess you'd say either George Savallo or Jean Pascal as far as accomplishments.
Yeah.
But I'm biased. I'm going with the people that I know personally at the amateur level. I tell you about Adam Troupish. He's the 8-time Canadian champion. He fought pro. He got up to, I believe it was like number 8 in the world at the 154-pound division. He was on his next fight was about to be against right before Canelo, right around the time that Canelo fought Austin Trout.
Yeah.
Around that time, Adam was supposed to get ready for to fight him too, and then whatever, just politics and shit didn't happen. It didn't work out. But anyway, he's, as far as him, and because I have a personal connection with him too, because when I was boxing myself, I had 30 fights, but the 2 years that I got to spar with him every day is the best that I got, more than my 30 fights, because of his experience. At the time when I was sparring with him, he already had over 100 amateur fights, over 50 international fights. So his experience was up there. So my 30 fights was nothing in comparison to the what he was teaching me during sparring for those 2 years that I was sparring with him, in a row. And the other one is Mary Spencer. Again, the first Canadian male or female to be 3-time world amateur champion. Got to train her and work with her every day for about 3 or 4 years. And so that's like I said, I got lucky I got my coaching like that. So as far as my favorite Canadians of all time, those are my 2.
Mike.
Yeah, me? Okay. This is a tough one. It's a tough one. Because okay, Arturo Gatti.
Oh my Canada. Gosh! Wow! I apologize. Rest in peace. I forgot about Gotti. Yes.
Oh, warrior.
Yes, Arturo Gatti. You know what? Honestly, he was born in Cassino, Italy, but he moved to Montreal as a child and eventually competed as a member of Canada's national boxing team before deciding to turn pro. Yeah, Arturo Gatti. After that, I'd have to say, you know what? I'm going to say Lennox Lewis.
Oh, yes. Wow. What is wrong with me?
Twitching quiet. Wow.
We're not going to let you claim him. We're not letting you claim him, Carl. He's ours.
Well,
Lennox is ours. Lennox is ours.
The next question is, and I've been stitched up a little bit here.
Yeah.
Is Lennox Lewis Canadian or British?
Yes. Because he was successful. If he wasn't good, then I'd be like, no, you guys could have him. You guys could have him.
we wouldn't want him if he wasn't successful.
He's the greatest. He's the greatest British Canadian boxer of all time.
Yes, and on a serious note,
yeah.
The reason why Lennox left Canada to go to the UK is because of all the politics and the bullshit that we talked about at the beginning. That is the reason why.
No competition. That's why he went back. This is what I was talking about before.
All I would say, Cedric, just to try and put an end to this once and for all, I've got a T-shirt out of wear next time we talk. You've seen it, Mike, haven't you? My T-shirt with Lennox Lewis London. Last time I looked, Cedric, last time I looked, London, where he was born in West Ham, is in the UK.
Yeah.
Yes, but remember what that gold medal says.
Yeah, yes.
There seems to be a common theme here with Canada, doesn't there? I'll tell you, get it.
Here, do you want to bring up that picture?
Where was Gatti born?
Italy.
Gatti Ward.
There's a common theme here, isn't there?
Yeah, see, it seems we take in everybody's, they're hungry and they're sick and they're poor, and we turn them into great boxers. And then since there's no competition here, we send them off back out into the world.
Exactly.
We're kind of like Mother Goose, man. We take in those kids.
Yeah, Gotti left.
All of a sudden, I feel like I'm being ganged up from North America. I'm being ganged up. But like I said, for me, it's British. It was on loan a little bit to Canada. Maybe we could scrub that little bit out of his history. I don't know. He only medal. Maybe he can get the medal back.
You know what? It's gonna come down to how many years spent on each rock.
Yes. Yeah. Time out. Has Lennox ever claimed, like, said what he claims Canadian, or does he say both?
He's quoted as saying he's British.
Yeah.
Really?
The British
he's British.
All joking aside, what a great boxer! One of the best.
Yes, 100%.
That's why we've been arguing about it since the 2000s.
Yeah.
we don't want to give up Canada's greatest boxer.
Yes,
man.
Exactly.
Right? We don't want to give him up. We We loaned him back to you guys.
Yeah.
Outrageous. That's outrageous, and dare I say, very arrogant, Michael. Very arrogant that was.
Yes, it was. It was. You know me, man.
And then, Cedric, it's good to have a laugh. The final question is, and this is a good one, who do you consider to be the best boxing coach worldwide currently?
The best boxing coach worldwide?
Yep.
That's it's
a good one, isn't it?
Question. It's a tough question and a good question, because I guess what exactly is the criteria? Is it because some people would say, some people would ask you, well, how many boxers do you have? How many people are you training? But at the same time, it takes years to develop a champion. So I mean, even if you just have one champion that you've developed over years, that's still you still can be considered a good coach. So as far as today's game, I don't know. There's lots of good guys. I like Virgil Hunter, Andre Ward's coach.
Yep.
I find it crazy how Floyd, Roger or Roger Mayweather or Floyd Sr. They've never won Coach of the Year in all the years that Floyd's been fighting. They've never won it one time. I find that kind of weird.
I think there's something going on with the politics in that situation there for sure.
Yeah. With Freddie Roach winning like 7 or 8 times, I'm like, I don't know. Anyways, there's a lot of politics going on with that stuff. But for me, who's I don't know. Canelo's coach is pretty hot right now. He's obviously we see Canelo's improvement. We see Canelo's improvement. Yeah, Ray Reynoso. We see Canelo's improvement. So obviously he's doing his thing. Again, Andre Ward never lost a fight since he was 12. I mean, that first Kovalev fight was definitely questionable. Yeah. But other than that, he's had a flawless career. So I guess I'll go with Virgil Hunter. Obviously, rest in peace to Emmanuel Stewart. Yeah, I never got the chance to actually meet him, but we go over to the gym all the time. Like where we are in Windsor, it takes me 15 minutes to drive to cross the border and get to Cronk Gym and all those gyms over there. Like I could literally walk to the border from my house and cross. So we're right by Detroit, so we get a lot of sparring over there. But coaches. So Virgil Hunter, Roger Mayweather, rest in peace. Ray Reynoso. I guess Terrence Crawford and Earl Spence's coach.
What's his name?
Derek James. Derek James, and I forget Terrence Crawford's coach, but I mean they've displayed whether it's good competition or lower level competition, they always step up and look good. As a boxer, you want to look good against the guys that aren't supposed to be on your level. You want to look extra good against those guys, and I think those boxers display that.
You mean Jamie Belt, right? Jamie Belt, Terrence Crawford's coach.
I'm not sure.
It's a strength and conditioning coach.
No,
okay,
Brian.
Okay.
Is it Brian McIntyre?
McIntyre, that's the one. That's his name. Yes.
Mike, let me demonstrate my superior knowledge again. Just again, Mike.
hey, at least I got it. It was still a coach. It's Jamie Belt. It's a strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah, he carries the water, but yeah, he's a coach.
Hey, and I just pulled that right out of here. So you know what? I'll give it. And late last night was kind of late, man. I'm gonna tell you, I saw the sun come up.
So, Mike, who's your favourite worldwide, Mike?
Right now, I'd say Reynoso. Right now, I like what he's doing. I like what he's done with Canelo. And if you look, he's got a camp full of exciting fighters, and that's what I like. I like guys who finish. I like guys who finish fights and don't leave it in the judges' hands, because I've seen too many upsets leaving it in the judges' hands. And I like those coaches that just train fighters like that.
You just said it right there. I always tell my boxers too, like if it goes to decision, and you can't get mad if you lose a split decision, because that just means you didn't do enough to make it clear. Like if you lose by split decision, it means the judges think that you did well, but you just didn't do more to make you have to make it clear. You have to make it clear, right? You have to make it clear.
Just like they say when you fight a champion, to beat the champ, you got to clearly beat the champ.
Yeah,
you're not letting it go decision. You're trying to knock him out, because if you let it go to decision, majority of the time, the champ's going to take it.
Yeah, exactly.
You've got to rip the belt away, haven't you? You've got to rip that belt away. That's what you've got to do.
Yes.
That's it. Don't leave it in the judges' hands.
Especially when you're in their hometown.
Exactly. To beat the champ, you got to definitively beat the champ.
Yeah.
So Virgil Hunter was in the UK last night with Joshua Buatsa. I like Virgil Hunter. Very, very calm influence.
Yes.
Couple of young UK coaches we got at the minute is Shane McGuigan, who is Barry McGuigan's son, who's doing. And also we've got Jamie Moore, who comes from Manchester. Keep an eye out for him moving forward.
I apologize. I'm not familiar with the UK coaches, but I definitely will be looking out for them. I'll definitely be paying attention.
No problem. And then you've also got, remember Robert Garcia? I'm quite a fan of it as well.
Yep. Garcia, yeah, definitely. He's been coaching for a minute now.
I agree with what you say, Cedric. It depends what you're measuring it on. Very vague question, isn't it? Very vague.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, so that's all the questions, Cedric. Is there anything else you want to cover? I'm conscious you've given us 4 minutes of your time, which is much appreciated. Is there anything you want to plug or anything you want to say before we bring it to a close?
No, man. Just thank you very much for putting me on. I'll come on. And do you guys do like live chats after fights and stuff like that?
Yep.
We do. Yeah. So we also have a show over here, Talk a Fight. I do a show called Knuckle Up where I profile young and up and coming talent in the game, hungry, young, undefeated. Bring me your fighters. I profile them Monday to Saturday, pretty much. And Sundays I do a Knockout of the Week award, which I'll be doing later on today. We also have a Friday night panel if you want to get on that and talk. Also, we do a boxing symposium where we every Sunday where we talk about the problems in boxing today. And
why have I missed all this? I'm on the YouTube and things all the time looking for different shows. How did I miss yours?
That's why you're on here now, Cedric. That's why you're on here now, because
perfect.
Guys, so you can now get both sides of the pond.
Yes, definitely.
Cedric,
definitely.
Before you leave today, I'll get your contact info, and then and we'll go from there. Because honestly, we will definitely have you on and talk about the problems in boxing today.
100%. Looking forward to it.
Okay, so Cedric, just wait for 5 minutes after I end the stream. You can give Mike them details. But what I'm going to do now, I'm going to end the stream. Okay, so thank you very much for your time, Mike. Thank you for your time.
Definitely, it was fun, Carl.
We'll see you all next time. Thank you.
Yes.